録画開始された。
お、ゲゲ、やばい。魔法使いジーク。
For the best possible Wonderbook experience, we want to see your face and your Wonderbook clearly on your TV.
す
All
げ
you
えな、
need
マ
to
ジ
do
が。
is make sure your PlayStation Eye camera is pointing down towards you and your
充電大丈夫
Wonderbook.
かなこいつ。はい。
プレステ3を前に出したらいいんじゃない
ああ、まあそうか。ちょっとディスク回ってる
Press
間は
the
怖い
move
んだけど。
button and I'll show you what to do.
あ、ちょっと。
まあそこまでじゃない。それでもちょっと。
よいしょ。はい、スキップはい。
To make sure you can be seen clearly in your room, set your PlayStation Eye camera to
自分でやれって
wide
か。
angle view.
何
To
よ。
do this, twist the
いや
camera lens
そう
round
認識
to
して
the
くれない
blue
んだな
lens
と思って。
angle
はは
indicator.
はは。
あ、ほんとこいつしかもコードにめっちゃ影響されまくってます。いや
でも結構ピントあったなってな。
ピントはまあみんなそれくらいの距離でやるからじゃないですか。はい。まあいっか。
Now, you need to tilt your PlayStation Eye camera so it's looking down towards the floor and not straight ahead. To do this, hold the camera base in one hand and push the camera lens down with your other hand.
つまめってことじゃない。
Next, place your PlayStation Eye camera below or above the center of your TV. For the best results, when you sit on the floor, your camera should be at about head height.
そんなもんでしょ。
Try to make your room as
Ah,
bright
hi.
and evenly lit as possible so that you and your Wonderbook appear clearly.
暗いとこで
For
やってみ
best
たいけどな。
results, turn on all the lights in the room.
いやいや、
明るくしろって。
明るくしろです。
Now, sit on the floor a little way back from your PlayStation Eye camera so you can see your face on your TV.
はい。
Pick up your motion controller and point it towards the camera lens, keeping it clearly visible on the screen. Hold your motion controller really steady, then press the move button.
なんかストラップを一応しておこうかと思った今更。
いらなくない？Wii でそのストラップしてるやつ見たことないんだけど俺。
いや僕はしてましたよ。
偉い。
一回ぶっ飛ばしたことあったん
あ、
で。
そうなんだ。
本当に。おお、なんだこれ。あ、おお。何が起きたんだ今。キャリブレーションコンプリート。そっか。ちょっと待って。こうすんだっけ。あ、なるほど。
玉が紫色になってる。
Finally, place your
はい
Wonderbook
はい。置
on
い
the
てる
floor
よ。
in
置
front
い
of
て
you.
るよ。早くしてくれ
Make
よ。
sure it's closed with the front cover facing upwards. If you can't see yourself and your Wonderbook on screen, try moving back a little. Press the move button when you've finished.
はい。
Next, close your Wonderbook so the front cover is facing upwards and
Oh.
press the move button to continue.
ほう。
You're all set up and ready to go. So leave
Yeah.
everything as it is and press the move button to start your Wonderbook
なんか
experience.
今思ったけど俺の服の色あんまり良くないかもしれない。なんか映像が入ってた。
大丈夫大丈夫。これ横になんか見てくれる人を設置しろっつって。
あ
おう。
見てくれる人。
うん。
まあ一人でやったら悲しいだけかもしれない。
そうだね。
ビンガーディアムレビオーサーみたいな。
チーンみたいなね。いや、ガードこれは熱い。
問題は音楽なんですよ。ちょっと音量上げてもらえます？
いいよ。
あ、結構でかかったもん。あ、なるほどね。はい。ポッタンモアアカウント何それ？ポッタンモアってなんですか？
ポッターも知らない。
What is ポッタンモア？
光ってる光ってる。
おお、何これ？ハリー・ポッターファンのための何か。めんどくさかった。いいか。はい、はい、ごめんなさい。
お、光ってる光ってる。
ノーノーノー。
杖の形で選べってよ。杖を選べ。
これフェニックスフェザー。
これね。
どう違うんだこれ。
なんかこうあれだよね。クイックアイトとか
これにしよ
リギットとかね。
う。おお来た。出ましたよこれ。
おお
AR 感。
AR 感ある。
こっち取っても意味ないでしょ。
グリフィンドール選べ。
これ選べるんだこれ。
そうそうそう。
組み分けられるわけじゃないの。
その発想なかっ
じゃあまあグリフィンドールからいきますか。
俺スリザリンやりたい。
た。あ、これいいね。
これ何これ。あ、何今の。リザードフォト。なんか嫌な感じするわこれ。
お疲れ様です。どうぞお取りください。ちょっと受けよう。
ごめん。
失礼。もっと写真撮れってよ。
いいですか。
うん。
やだーこれ撮りたくねー。よし、なんかパソコンでも撮らせておこう。
パソコンが
あれ撮ったの今。
撮ったみたいだね。
これ。分かりにくい。クソゲーだな。
動いている。
で、Are you happy with your result photo? あ、いいよ。はいはいはい。
あれ、魔法の杖。
これやばいね。
どうぞ。こんな感じですよ。魔法
これ
の杖。
プレイしてるのがそうだ発想
Hello
なん
there.
かある
So-
You know, Hogwarts students
Yeah, I think
should
already
be in the
done.
restricted
Michael,
section of the
so-
library without a note. You're lucky I'm just a professor. If the librarian caught you. Oh, you've already picked up a book, I see, but hang on a minute.
ちゃんと杖になってる。
It's covered
Say, we
in
make it
dust. You must be the first student in years to pick it up. Where in the library did you find this? Ah, looks like you got post. Let's see now.
すげえ。
どうしろと。どうしろと。
開けろと。
開けるんじゃないの？
ピースボタン押したらなんか開いた。
あ、
This
Yeah.
student is given permission to collect a copy of the Book of Spells from the restricted section. From the restricted
これ今ユー
section?
スト配信中な
How
の
on
で。
earth did you get permission for this? Oh, you're a Gryffindor, are you? Well, I hope you know
そ
what
っ
you're
かグリフ
doing.
ィンドール選ぶんだ。
なんか5人くらい見てい
Come
い
on then, let's have a look at it. Brush that dust off the cover. That's it, keep going.
はどうした大丈夫かお前。
ファン。おう。
なんだったの今の。あ、違う。ダストオフだからこうだ。おお。
おお。
おお。
なるほどね。音が止まっちゃうのどうなのさっきの。びっくりしたわ。
No, you didn't quite brush off all the dust. Try it a wee bit more.
もっと。
You can't start reading just yet. Close your book and leave it face up for a moment. Wait a moment. Is this? Yes! This is the Book of Spells by Miranda Goshawk. I mean, this isn't your standard Book of Spells. It's very old. But after all, you did get permission.
Oh, yeah.
It's just... Well, Miranda Goshawk was a powerful witch, and sometimes magic in old spellbooks can be a bit unpredictable. Oh, but we've got your magical education to think about.
おい、
I'll
ちょっと
be
待っ
here to guide you while you read the book. After all,
た。なになになにおお、なんだこれ。
何これ何です。いや、AR っぽいよ。
開けろって言ってんじゃないの？
そうかな。
ready to begin. First, let's make sure your wand is in fine shape.
おお。
Now, a spellbook like this can help you with all sorts of enchantments.
で隣に
See
ポンって
that
やるじゃない。
glowing spot on the page? Point your wand at it, then press the T button.
おお。
何が始まるんです。
右を叩
Here
く。
we are. We're going to practice this nice snap of the wrist. It's a
Ah,
sharp
shut there.
flick of your wand like this. Oh, there we go. Wow, it looks like your wand is ready to go. Time. Oh, that's it. Very good. Right, keep flicking now.
飛んだ。なんか飛んだ。
飛んでる。
あ、じゃあ遠いとは
With
違
a
う。
spell like this, just flick. A bit more. Keep flicking your wand. Keep going. Let's get your wand really warmed up.
おお。
Yes, you definitely got the hang of it. Let's move on, shall we? You can cancel activities at any time by holding the circle button. So do that now.
何が
That's it. Now hold it. Good. Now hold it.
What?
It looks like your wand work is up to scratch.
わかりにくい
Let's move on. There you go. Now let's see what our
英語だからね。
esteemed author Miranda Goshawk had to say in her foreword.
I was born into a poor family, the last of 9 sisters. When I was a youngster, there was no basic spell book to give a beginner witch like myself the clear and simple instructions that would have made magic a much less mysterious process. I struggled to understand the complicated instructions in the old-fashioned textbooks I was given at school. Back at home, I was at the mercy of my older sister's mischievous attempts to give me the wrong incantation for every spell I attempted. Hand-me-down robes are merely embarrassing. Hand-me-down spells can be dangerous. When I grew up, I quickly realized that the help I had craved simply did not exist. And so, I created the book you are holding now. The Book of Spells. I could not be prouder that this simple school textbook is now being used in schools for magic all over the world, and has been translated into 72 languages, including gobbledygook and English. I also had a few special editions printed for my dear sisters, which unfortunately contained a few misprints that led to quite a few comical mishaps. But Romilda's tale has vanished now, and we're all friends again. The Book of Spells will enable you to perform a range of basic and not so basic spells that will enhance, protect, and enliven your life. At the end of each chapter,
あなたの
you
命
will
のた
find
め
a
に。
conundrum, a little poem with a
魔
hidden
法は防衛
message
されてるらしいです
concerning
よ。
those characteristics and
Protected.
habits that make witches and wizards truly great. Each conundrum tells the story of a witch or wizard who did not possess the necessary traits and paid the price. Names have been
これくらいなら
changed
危険
to
でしょ。
inadequate. The solution to all the conundrums can be found when you have
聞
mastered
けないのあんまり
every
ちゃんとは
spell.
聞けてない
マジで
But by that time, you may not need the solution at all. Good luck, stay safe, and make good magic.
まあなんとなく
You uncovered a collectible. That will go into the collectibles chapter in your spellbook. Later on, you can visit the chapter to see all the things you've collected. But for now, let's move on. Now we've got 2 magical spots on the book. Every page of the Book of Spells has spots like these. See that new spot on the right-hand page? Use your wand to pull it up out of the book, and we can read what spells we have in store in chapter 1. Or you can try testing out your wand again by pulling up the picture on the left-hand page. It's up to you. When you read the Book of Spells, you can use your wand to move the words back and forth. Try it now. Point your wand at the words at the top of the screen, then hold the T button and slide them to the left.
レフトわからん何を言ってたのあいつは
That's it.
ああそういうこ
Whenever
と
you're reading, you can use your wand to skip ahead or go back. Point with your wand again and slide the words to the right to go back.
超わかりにくいんですよ
Nice wand work. You can also stop reading at any time by holding the circle
そっちに
button.
来たら
意外と
戻っちゃったじゃん。
戻ってこっちにある進めちゃ
In
う
this chapter, we'll learn 4 spells ideal for developing your wand skills. Each new spell is sure to be useful throughout your wizarding career, whether you're making objects fly or lighting your way in dark places. Practice hard, and you'll soon be ready to take on this chapter's final test, and will be well on your way to becoming an accomplished witch or wizard.
なんでこいつは出てきたの
Look at that!
めくれって。めくれんのかな
In this chapter, don't read this spell book like a muggle textbook. To read your book, you point your wand at any words that are glowing on the page and then just press the T button.
ここがなんですか
The levitation charm is one of the first spells learnt by any young witch or wizard. With the charm, a witch or wizard can make things fly with the flick of a wand. The charm is an excellent test of your magical skill, wand control, and above all, patience.
ふわってやるじゃん。
There you have it. For every spell you learn, you'll first get a description of the spell from the author. Oh, look! There's more to find out about the spell. Looks like Miranda Gosog also put a wizarding story about the levitation charm into her book. Pull up the glowing picture with your wand to read the story, or just turn the page. Looks like we're going to hear a tale about this spell. Ready? It's up to you. Do you want to read the story now or later? Use your wand to choose. Point at one of the tabs. That's it. The levitation charm was invented in 1544 by warlock
本当に教科書じゃ
Jarlath,
ん。
who mistakenly believed that he had at last succeeded in doing what wizard kind had so far failed to do, and learnt to fly.
面白いな。
Hobart invited a large crowd of wizards, including the chief warlock of the Wizengamot, to witness his maiden flight. On the 16th of July, 1544, Hobart climbed onto the roof of the local church. And after several speeches and a rousing performance of the...
なんか
It seems your spell book is testing you. There's a word missing from the story. Point your wand at one of the tabs on the side of the book. Then hold the T button and slide the tab out.
はい。ナショナルアンセム。
じゃあ行くわ。そうなんです。お疲れ様です。隣行こうぜ。
Where do you think the story's going? Point at one of those... Ah, yes. After a rousing performance of the national anthem, he leapt into midair. At first, Hobart appeared to have succeeded. He hung in midair for nearly 3 minutes, until the crowd grew impatient to see him move somewhere. In response to their catcalls, Hobart began to perform vigorous swimming movements, which had no effect. Mistakenly believing that he was being hampered by his heavy boots and... oh, another missing word. That doesn't sound right. Perhaps try the other tab. Oh, believing he was being hampered by his heavy robes, he took them off and tossed them away.
なるほど。
Upon removal of these items, Hobart dropped 10 feet, and it became painfully clear to those watching from below that far from weighing him down, they had been helping to keep him airborne. Infuriated by the increasing laughter of the onlookers, Hobart continued to strip. Until finally, on removal of his... oh dear, what do you think he removed next? Pull out a tab to choose. That definitely wasn't right. On removal of his underpants, he plummeted to the earth, completely naked. Breaking 16 bones and earning himself a fine for what the chief warlock described as outrageous silliness. Humiliated, Hobart returned home and continued his work. He eventually realized that he had invented a spell that would lift objects into the air and could cause them to hover for varying lengths of time depending on their weight and the skill of the spellcaster. Small animals and even children might be levitated, but once airborne they had no control over their direction of movement. Hobart consequently made a second announcement, and another, even larger crowd assembled to watch his new demonstration. Hoping for another hearty laugh at his expense. The new demonstration was initially much more successful than the first. Hobart showed the onlookers how he could lift a variety of objects, ranging from small rocks all the way up to... What else could this spell levitate? Pull out one of the taps to try it. That's it! He could lift fallen trees! Unfortunately, the cheers of the crowd went to Hobart's head, and he decided for a finale to levitate the chief's hat. What do you think happens next? It was only then that he, and indeed the crowd, realized that the chief wore a wig. Hobart only survived the resulting duel by levitating the chief's robes over his head and running for it.
いいからこのストーリーは飛ばそう。めんどくせえ。何だったんだ一体。
There you go. Now some spells in the book will have wizarding stories to go with them, left especially by Miranda. I mean, our esteemed author. This spellbook has some powerful magic indeed. Time for you to do some magic of your own. I think you're ready to learn to cast this spell. Wand at the ready and turn the page to learn it. One of the book's pictures has got a bit out of control. Just try brushing those feathers away with your hand.
おお。なんつった今。
ブラッシングは。
Wingardium Leviosa!
どうせ打つのこれ。
The magic words for the levitation charm are Wingardium Leviosa. Be sure to make the gar nice and long. Say the incantation aloud nice and clearly now. 3, 2, 1.
Wingardium Leviosa.
That's it.
本当に音声認識してるの？あ、そうだよね。
That's the incantation learnt. Now time for the wand gesture you must make to cast the spell. Pull the gesture diagram up from the page. Wingardium Leviosa!
戻れない。
The magic words for the levitation charm are Wingardium Leviosa. Be sure to make the gar nice and long. Say the incantation aloud nice and clearly now. 3, 2, 1. You'll have to speak up. Excellent pronunciation.
よくわからん。何が起きたんだろう今。
That's the incantation learnt. Now time for the wand gesture you must make to cast the spell. Pull the gesture diagram up from the page. This spell is all in the wrist. Keep your wand hand loose and perform a nice, smooth swish and flick movement. This is it. To cast a spell, you trace the gesture shape while holding the move button on your controller. Hold down the move button, trace the shape, then let go. Great! Once more, this time draw the shape from memory. Well remembered! That's it! See that symbol in the corner? That means you've cast the spell. Now you don't need to press the move button or make the gesture again. You can keep using this spell till you cast another. Now with the levitation charm, you point your wand at an object, then hold the T button to levitate it. Remember, with this spell, you need to aim your wand, then hold the T button to use it. Oh, here we go. Try levitating that jar. Point at it and hold the T button. You need to safely land the jar to move on. Just release the T button when you're ready. work. You can keep levitating, or we can move on. You can return the book to normal at any time by holding the circle button.
あ、サークルボタンは多分これ
あ、そう。
ボタン。
You're doing well. Now try landing the jar safely back on the book. You need to safely land the jar to move on. Just release the T button when you're ready. Excellent levitation skills. You can keep levitating, or we can move on. You can return the book to normal at any time by holding the circle button.
こうして、次に行っちゃえばいいのかな。
あ、
なんなんだあれ。何ですか？なんか嫌な予感がする。違うのか。やばい、わからん。何これ。
You'll need to cast the levitation charm again. Remember, swish your wand down and flick up.
なんか違うような気がしてきそう。
Well remembered.
結局こいつをどかさなきゃいけないのか、もしかして。あ、ダメ。あれ？効かなくなった。おお。
You'll need to cast the levitation charm again. Remember, swish your wand down and flick up.
おお。
ああ。なるほど。
なんだこいつ。
I knew it would come to this. Slippery little things, eh? Ugh, must you? I knew it would come to this.
ここ今何をやっていいのかわかりません。
I suppose that was inevitable. You've done it! You can levitate it! You have a bright, magical future ahead of you, I can tell. You can let go of the T button to drop it any time. Put the jar safely back down on the book so we can move on. Good work!
で、
You can keep levitating, or we can move on. You can return the book to normal at any time by holding the circle button.
そう、ムーブオンしたいんだけどどうすればいいんだろう。
Oh, water making spell. A useful one, this.
なんなの？
Pull up the description text to find out more, or turn the page to learn to cast it.
あ、いやー、まあいいか。仕方ね。
The water making spell conjures clean, drinkable water from the end of the wand. Thus, with the water making spell, the trained wizard is never without a source of water, whether they're refilling their goblet at dinner or managing a minor eyebrow fire after a carelessly cast fire-making spell. Well done, you're building quite a collection of souvenirs. Ah, our vandal has left another scribble. The last one was educational. Just, shall we have a look? Or if you like, just turn the page. Ooh, the bubblehead charm. It conjures a bubble of air around the caster's head, useful for underwater exploration and avoiding nasty smells. You ready to cast the charm? I'm looking forward to this. Stay just where I can see you and keep still to see this spell in action.
なんだこれ。どうすんのこ
That's
れ。
it! You look interesting. What's our magical vandal up to now? Goodness, a chance to try out your bubblehead charm. Although this charm is brilliant for underwater exploration, wizards with particularly bad breath have reported some problems after the first 30 minutes or so.
え、
I wonder if those fish have seen an underwater wizard before. See if you can grab one.
え
A bit shy, aren't they?
どういうこ
There they go. Looks like the previous owner of your spellbook really knew their stuff.
とやばい、意味がわからん。
すごいですね。
Right, let's crack on. Ah, our vandal has left another scribble. The last one was educational. Just. Shall we have a...
うるさい。
Here we'll learn the necessary gesture and incantation to conjure water from your wand. We'll learn the incantation first. Pull up the illustration on the page. Aguamenti. The incantation for conjuring water is Aguamenti. Be sure to say it clearly when casting the spell. Nice and loud now. Excellent, well said.
わかんなかった。言ったことにされた。
どうですよ。
You're ready to learn the spell shape. Pull up the picture on the page. Casting Aguamenti requires a smooth wave movement from left to right with your wand. First, dip your wand down, then rise up and over. A nice smooth wave. Nice. Let's see that gesture again, but drawn from memory this time. That's right. Great. With this spell, just hold down the T button to send out a jet of water. You've got the spell cast. Now just pull the T button to spray water.
かっこ悪い。
Watch where you spray that
す
thing.
ごい。
Give the book a good spray. Don't worry, its enchantments should protect it from water damage. Lovely. Almost those pages down. I think you've got the basics. You can stop the waterworks. You have to be sure that the book is dry before we move on. Tilt the book up so the water runs off it. That's the way. You've completed the first half of chapter 1. To move to the second part of the chapter, you'll need to close the book, and then choose chapter 1, part 2. Open your book. There's things left to do in this. You've learned your first spell. Now it's time for a practice exercise conjured by your book. I'll be awarding house points, so do your best. Let's find out what challenge Miranda Goshawk has set you. Point your wand at the glowing illustration and pull it up. Guardian Levy.
なんでダメかくそ。電池が切れた。
うん。
これ充電しながらやんないと。頼む。
Yourself.
お。
Guardian Leviosa, eh?
しかし、これは何もできないんじゃないか。
You won't be able to read the book while you've got a spell cast, so press circle to stop the spell. Then, now it's time to practice your new charm and learn to levitate with confidence. Luckily, this spellbook holds a number of powerful enchantments which allow it to provide a safe space for spell practice.
Oh.
Your book's going to conjure up a practice space. Here we go.
すごっ。おお。
An herbology greenhouse. Those plants are mandrakes. I'd know them anywhere. A perfect chance to put your
Oh.
levitation to the test. Levitate the mandrakes out of the ground and into those pots over there. Now these mandrakes are fragile, so you'd better levitate them up out of the ground and over into the pots. That's the spell you need, so aim your... Oh, they're stubborn. Hold the T button and give them a good tug. Point your wand at a mandrake and levitate him up out of the ground.
ちょっと待って。むずい。
これを抜いて端に入れようとする。抜けない。抜けない。
小さいのこれやってもきつくないですか？あ、そうか、こうやればいいのか。
Good. Right. Drop this little fellow into the right-sized pod. Release the T button to pop him in. Well done. This mandrake can settle into his new home. You need to repot all the mandrakes to complete the exercise. Good. That's it. Release the T button to drop him. Well done. You'll make a fine herbologist. Good. Now just release the T button to drop it.
リアルすぎてて。
Excellent. Another one safely repotted. That's it. Well, he's woken up. I'll magically muffle him with a spell. Excellent.
空間
Nice
の
work.
違いがすごすぎる。
All safely repotted. Some spectacular levitation in there, I must say. Activity complete. Time to see how well you did. Here's a note recording your progress in this lesson. Let's find out how you did. Well done indeed.
Oh.
You've mastered your first spell. And to prove it, here's a wizarding photograph recording one of your moments of magic. Good work. Oh, spectacular. All mandrakes repotted without any mistakes. So that's 15 house points for you.
せっかくユースト入れる空中だったのに。
Miranda Goshawk's left behind a little more information on this spell. If you'd like to read it, pull up the note, or you can just turn the page. Activity complete. Time to see how well you did. Here's a note recording your progress in this lesson. Here we are. Let's see how you did. Well done indeed. You've mastered your first spell. And to prove it, here's a wizarding photograph. Our vandal has left another scribble. The last one was educational. Just.
いいんじゃね？
That's the back of the book. Turn the book over to have a look at the front cover. Ready to move on? Just point your wand down at the glow on your book and pull the T button as usual. Then you can pick Chapter 1, Part 2. Here we go. You've finished the first half of Chapter 1. You'll be able to unlock the other chapters soon, but for now, just point your wand at Chapter 1, Part 2, then press the move button.
なるほど。
Chapter 1, Part 2.
眠くなってきた。はい。あ、開けろということ。違う。あ、違うんだ。アンロッキングチャーム。
There are many ways to pass through locked doors in the magical world. See the fire-making spell, the gouging spell, and the reductor curse. Where you wish to enter or depart discreetly, however, the unlocking charm is your best friend. Oh, you found another collectible. Remember to go and see it in the collectibles chapter later. Ready for another tale? Wand at the ready.
めんどく
Here we
さ
are. Want to read the story now or later? Remember, you can always hold the circle. Right, let's move on.
あ
い。
Right then, we'd better learn the spell. Turn the page.
ここのつながりがどうなってるの？
This page will teach you the gesture and incantation to open almost any lock. First, we'll learn the spell's incantation. Try that picture of some keys. Use your wand to get it going. Alohomora. To unlock doors with just a wave of the wand, speak the incantation Alohomora. Nice and clearly now. 3, 2, 1.
ここだ。
Excellent pronunciation.
聞いてないやろお前。今度いらないんだよ。
Excellent. Now let's learn the gesture. Pull the diagram up from the page.
多分子供はちゃんと言ってやるんだろう。
Now, the spell requires a nice, sharp wand movement. Start at the bottom and go up, then diagonally down and then across. Nice. Let's see that gesture again, but drawn from memory this time. Excellent. With this spell cast, you don't need to do the gesture again. You just start flicking your wand towards locked objects to open them. Let's see what this spell can do. Do you need a reminder? The gesture is a line straight up, then a diagonal line down and left. Finally, move a corner. Flick your wand towards any of those little glints you see. That shows where you can use the unlocking charm. Remember, with this spell, you flick your wand. Flick it at that locked chest. Oh, you picked up a
なる
collectible.
ほど。
You'll be rich at this rate.
あ、
Smells like someone's potion went wrong in there.
どうすればいいんだ？非常に難しいなこれ。
Flick your wand towards any of those little... Wasn't expecting that.
これだって方向行ってどう操作してるのか全くわからん。ケン。
Try flicking your spell into the classroom.
ガンガン
Look out, rats! Well done. That's the last of them.
あ、そう。
Ooh, look, there's more to read about this spell. If you're as curious about it as I am, pull up the note with your wand. Or you can just turn the page. Wand lighting charm. As before, point your wand at the words, then pull them up from the page. This charm will light the end of your wand, providing illumination in darkness. The wand lighting charm is simple, but requires concentration. Take great care not to accidentally set your wand alight, as damage of this kind can be permanent. If in any doubt about your abilities, you would do better to buy yourself a magic lantern. Good work. Oh, looks like another bit of extra information from Miranda Goshawk. Pull that new note up with your wand, or you can just turn the page. The discovery that wands themselves could be lit occurred relatively recently in wizarding history. at the end of the 18th century.
何それ。
Among those who claim to have invented this revolutionary spell, who insisted that he had invented it as a side effect of his discovery of instant darkness powder. It transpired, however, the wand lighting charm was actually invented in 1772 by Lebanon monk Stan. Moving on. We can finish that later.
声はうまくつながっている。
Oh, fascinating. There appears to be a hole in your book. I wonder what's in there.
え、何どういうこと？あ、おお、なんだこれ。おお、すごっ。あ
Lumos.
ー、どうやってつながった
The
んだ今の。
incantation to light one's wand is Lumos. Your turn. Try saying the incantation for this spell. 3, 2, 1, go.
植えます。ダメだった。
Right, time for you to speak the incantation nice and clearly now. Excellent pronunciation. Now you've mastered the incantation, let's move on to looking at the spell's gesture. Time to learn the wand gesture. Pull up the gesture diagram. The gesture for Lumos is a nice, smooth upwards loop. So it's a loop for Lumos. It can be tricky, this. Start going straight from left to right, then loop up and over, then carry on straight to the right. Great. Once more, this time draw the shape from memory. That's the way. Excellent. Let's move on and see what this spell can do. Once you've cast this spell, you just need to hold your wand wherever you need light. Simple as that. That's it. Marvellous. Use your wand light to search around the room. There's bound to be something to find. There are some objects in here, cloaked in darkness. Try using your... Well done! I was wondering what that was. More objects to go, keep it up. I can hear something moving around in here. Keep searching with Lumos. Can you hear that? There's something alive in here. A puffskein. How did that get in here? Well, these make the perfect wizarding pet. Keep searching. Excellent, that's the last of them.
何こいつ。あ
You've learned to produce light. Another crucial spell for wizards. Turn the page for a practice exercise. Oh, Miranda certainly wants to put you through your paces. Use your wand to pull up the text from the page. By now, you should be getting the hang of spellcasting, but it's important to practice the wand lighting charm to ensure that you've mastered it. Once again, your spellbook will now conjure somewhere for you to practice your powers of illumination. I hope you're not afraid of the dark.
ほう。ほう。
Not a very friendly looking forest.
間違った。
Merlin's beard. A devil's snare. These predatory plants thrive in the dark but can be driven back by light. That devil's snare looks eager to rip your spellbook to pieces. Cast Lumos to ward it off. Shine Lumos onto those tendrils to frighten it off.
何が言うの？
Lovely, keep it up. Wonderful wand work.
謎のアクション。
Get Dimple Snare didn't know what hit it. Wonderful wand work.
Oh.
Congratulations! You've mastered Lumos. And to prove it, here's your certificate. Time to find out how well you did. And there you are, captured in all your magical spellcasting glory. The book's unscathed. After that superb display of spellcasting, you've earned 15 house points.
うわ。ちょっと聞いていいですか。
Excellent work. You've done yourself proud. You've learned all the spells in this chapter.
Oh.
I think you're ready to take the chapter test. Turn the page. Your first test. I know you'll make me proud. Pull up the glowing text on the page to begin. Well done. You've nearly completed the first chapter of the Book of Spells. Now you'll need each of your new spells to pass a final test. By first overcoming a series of puzzles, and finally by taming a dangerous magical creature. Pass the test, and you will win the first of my conundrum poems, and will have taken your first step towards wizarding greatness. What's this? Some kind of fountain? It looks pretty dry though. Let's try filling it with water. Try again! Press triangle if you want a hint. Not quite sure which spell you were trying to cast there. Try again. That's it. Now, point your wand and hold the T button. Getting there. Fill it some more. It's not full yet. Get some more water into the fountain.
Whoa!
Weird. It was a trick.
So-
We've released a Kelpie, a shape-changing water demon. Very dangerous. The only way to tame a Kelpie is to get a bridle over its head like a horse. Miranda set you quite a task. First, we'll need to find something to bridle it with, like a bit of rope. You know this place is strangely familiar. I think we're in Scotland. I recognise that loch.
どういうこと？
And here's another kind of lock. This portcullis is in our way. Remember, in this test, you'll need all the spells you've learned so far. What spell could help us open up the gate? You unlocked it. The gate seems to be broken, and we can't get through to fix it. See those cogs all over the floor? Try lifting them up and putting them back in place on the wall. A good chance to show off one of your spells. We still need to fix the gate mechanism. Which one of your spells could lift up those cogs and put them back? Good. Excellent. Where does this cog need to go? Carefully now. Excellent work. Good. Levitate the cog. Now, where does it need to go? Carefully now. Ooh. That's got it, but where does it fit? Oh, that's the way. That's it. One more to go. Excellent. Where does this cog need to go? Oh, that's the way. That seems to have done the trick. Well done. Right, what's next? Remember, if we're going to take on that Kelpie, we'll need a rope or a bridle. Miranda Goshawk certainly doesn't mess about. This place has seen better days, that's for sure. Be ready for anything. Ah, there you are. I bet this next challenge has something to do with these watch chests.
なんだ。
Galloping gargoyles! Ugh, odd place for bats to sleep. Still, you've got the right idea. Try the other chest. Ah, yes. You can't lose, I just know it. Yes, great wand work. Don't let it get the upper hand, or burn. Excellent, you're making me proud.
なんかやばい感じがするけん。
You're going to have to drive it all. Yes, great homework. Ooh, it wasn't like that. You've almost got it. Ooh, it wasn't like that. Don't let it get the upper hand, or burn. You've almost got it. Wonderful spell work. I think you've sent it packing. No, there goes the bridle. We better follow it. Where's this test going to take us next? The lock. Wand out, I think. That Kelpie could be anywhere. Be ready. I have a feeling this is the final part of the test.
いやー
There it is. So to tame this beast, we need to get the bridle over its head. I think you'd better use your levitation charm. Going swimming is not a good idea. He's back. There he goes. On to the ready. That's it. Now point to the bridle. This beast isn't going to cooperate. Now's your chance. Fit that bridle. That's it. Lovely bit of levitation. Even with the bridle, he's a spirited fellow, eh? Nicely done! You've clearly mastered his chapter spells. I couldn't be more proud. Your first chapter test passed. What an achievement! And here's your prize, Miranda Goshawk's Conundrum.
When little Isadora Rose, a sweet young witch, that button nose, was bought a wand, she thought it grand. It shone so brightly in her hand. Now here's an end to all my woes, the charming girl told friends and foes. I'll never ever need to work. In truth, she always liked to shirk. If anybody makes me cross, my wand will show them who is boss. And if they go and treat me worse, I'll fix them with a single curse. And everything I want I'll get with this, my darling little pet. With that, she waved her brand new wand and turned her black hair brassy blonde. But as the days and weeks went by, that lazy girl refused to try to master new spells. Truth to tell, she didn't do the old ones well. Her hair turned blonde, but then fell out. Her curses never had much clout. Her wand began to wilt, poor thing, as boredom took away its zing. And naturally she blamed the wand and threw it in the old duck pond. But you know better. You can see what caused her mediocrity. What must you do which she did not? What must you do and do a lot? Answer this, and do it loads, or I will turn you all to toads.
Once you learn all the spells contained in this book, you should be able to puzzle out the answer. Here's your certificate recording your progress. Pull it up from the book to have a look. You've well and truly mastered your spells, and you didn't make any mistakes. Take 15 house points. Right, let's crack on. Now you're free to take on chapters 2, 3 and 4 in any order. Remember, you need to complete part 1 and part 2 of each chapter before you can start a test. And don't forget to visit the collectibles chapter to see what you've picked up so far. Chapter 2, Part 1.
なんだろうな。ここでしたら何だったんだろう。
Chapter 2, Part 1. You've made a start on this. You've made great progress. Time for Chapter 2. Remember, you don't read this spell book like a muggle book. Point your wand at the glowing words, then pull the T button to start reading. It's time to move on to more complex magic. In this chapter, we will cover a range of challenging and at times dangerous new spells. Keep your wits about you in this chapter, and soon you'll master new magical skills from revealing invisible ink, or conjuring flocks of birds from your wand, to the art of magical fire making. There we have it. Turn the page to learn the first spell in this chapter. The fire making spell. We'll first learn a bit about the spell, then you can try casting it. Remember, you need to use your wand to read. Point at the glowing words, hold the T button and pull the words up off the page. From lighting a warm hearth to igniting a Christmas pudding, the fire-making spell is always useful around the wizarding household. However, the ability to produce fire with the flick of a wand can be dangerous to your fellow students, and worse, your books. A pair of dragonhide gloves is therefore recommended for this lesson. More careless students might also like to brush up on any hair regrowing spells that they might know.
なんだこれ。びっくりした。
Well done, you're building quite a collection of souvenirs. There's a story about this spell. Pull up the glowing words on the page to find out what it is. More careless students might also... Miranda Goshawk's left us a short story about this spell. Pull up the glowing words to hear it.
はいはいはいは
Ready to begin reading the story?
い。ない。ナイス。はい。
Can't wait to try the spell, eh?
さあ行きましょう。
Our vandal has scribbled all over. Time to learn to cast the spell. That's it. Now, just flick your wand sharply down towards the book to cast.
やっぱりそう。
That's got the gates open, but where is the incantation? Tilt up your book and have a look down that hole.
また
I can't quite see the book, but put it flat on the floor for me.
わあ
Incendio! The incantation to produce fire from your wand is Incendio. Clear your mind, grip your wand firmly and say it now. 1, 2, 3.
センディオ。
Good. Now ready to learn the wand gesture for this spell. Pull up the gesture diagram from the page. The fire-making spell uses 3 movements. A straight line to the right, then diagonally down and left, then right again. Good. Do that once more. This time without any help. Brilliant! You've created fire. A valuable skill. That's it. You'll need to learn to flick fire accurately, so keep flicking until you've got the hang of it. Excellent. You're a dab hand at the fire-making spell. Let's give your skills a real workout. Turn the page. Now let's see you handle a more challenging task. Your spellbook is going to conjure up a place for you to practice fire-making safely. Pull up the glowing picture to start practicing this spell. It's time to practice flicking fire from your wand. See how fast and accurate you can be with your spell casting.
Ah, 最悪な感じだこれ。
I don't think so. Try another spell.
あ
Remember.
あ、やめてくれ。このグラフィックかっこいいな。
The place is full of creatures. These paper pests can be a real nuisance, so make sure you get rid of them all with your fire-making spell. Use your fire-flicking technique to burn away all the paper creatures. I'll be giving out house points depending on how fast and accurate you are in this. Ah, creepy crawlies. Get rid of them. Well done. Now, aim carefully and see how many you can get rid of. Please try not to hit classroom furniture. It's expensive to replace.
ああ、超超。
Ah, butterflies. Remember,
Ay, ya quedaba, ¿no?
paper. Don't let you catch you trying to spell the real friend. Would you please stop destroying the classroom? I might have to deduct points next time.
知らねえよ。少女とか出すな
A
よ。
fire-breathing paper dragon. Seems a bit frightening. Again. I'm taking 5 house points for that. Very good. Excellent. You earned 10 house points.
ここって言えばわかるって言われる。
わかんないけど。
え？
Let's find out how you did. Here's a wizarding photograph as a memento. There you are, casting the fire-making spell, like an old hand. Well done. Moving on then. You can go back to that later if you choose. Eager to learn more about the fire-making spell? Ah, our vandal has scribbled all over your book again. They've probably left you some... Oh, the bird conjuring charm. This charm is one of my favorites. Pull up the glowing text to read what our esteemed author... On this page, we'll cover the wand gesture and incantation for bird conjuring. First, we'll learn the incantation for this spell. Pull the words up from the page.
わからん。全くわからんぞ。
Chapter 3, Part 1.
やっぱりいまいちだな。お、次消えた。ん？よし。とりあえずできたということで。